Good evening and welcome to episode 76. As always, we will start with our gratitude attitude. So, if you would please gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, feel all your stress melting away. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, relax your body. Take one more deep breath. This time, completely let yourself go. Now, think of one thing that you are thankful for that happened in past 1 week. Once you have identified that, think about why you are thankful. Now, let's set it free. If you're by yourself, say it out loud what you are thankful for and why. If you are with someone, tell it to each other. All right. So, we've been discussing karma for the last 3 sessions. We'll continue with our karma discussion today. You may recall we discussed bodily negative karma in our last session. Today, we'll discuss the speech and mental negative karma. Let's begin with lying. Lying is a negative action of speech. Although one can commit this action by writing or even staying silent. A classic example of this is the Yudhishthir during Kurukshetra war. You may know someone asked him if Aswathama was dead. And he said, indeed, Aswathama was dead, not clarifying that Aswathama the elephant was dead, not Aswathama the guru. So that's a lie. Also, for lying to create negative consequences, The object of lying must be present along with determination and delusion. Another point is that the other person has to understand before action is considered complete. So for example, if we utter a lie to an infant, right, they don't know thing we are saying. They cannot process it, what we are talking about. So then that action is not complete. So there is no negative karma attached to that. Another negative karma about speech is divisive speech. When we create division between two people. A lot of this is going around right now in our society, where people make statements just to incite hatred amongst groups of people. There is also divisive speech of gossip, where people talk about other people behind their backs, trying to create a rift among friends. So the object of divisive speech is two or more people who have a relationship with one another. The divisive speech causes that relationship to deteriorate or make it worse. One thing I want to point out is that even if something is true, but it can cause harm in a relationship between two people, it is considered a divisive speech. The next one is hurtful speech. Hurtful speech is a type of negative action, like it says, is intended to hurt someone. If a person is hurt by our speech, it is hurtful speech. As before, if we intend to hurt John, but end up hurting Jim instead, that action is not complete. So intention here again is important. Also, if we get angry at a non-living being, say a weather, then there is no hurt caused and no negative action occurs. Sarcasm is also a form of hurtful speech, right? So before we speak or post something on social media, we should contemplate. I think we had a whole session about this. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? If the answer to any of these questions is no, don't do it. As simple as that. Idle chatter is the least affecting negative karma. It just means meaningless conversation. It's not harmful to anyone, right? But it prevents us from working on positive karma. So it's an indirect negative karma, if you will. But again, if you have to commit negative karma, that's the one, you won't have too much quarrel about it from me. So those are all verbal and speech negative karma. Now, let's take a look at mental negative karma. Covetousness is negative karma where one desires something that does not belong to them. It can be a mental possession, a job, a higher position, someone else's partner, whatnot. This is one karma that creates negative results just with a train of thought. See, every other karma we talked about, there has to be an action, bodily or speech action. Here, just a train of thought can create negative karma. For that to occur, we must first correctly identify our object of desire. I want this, what the other person has, right? I want from that person. We must be determined to possess it. And we must be influenced by delusion. Usually it's attachment, right? Jealousy, whatnot. When we repeatedly consider how we'll obtain this object, and the action is complete when we choose a method and decide to apply it to get that object for ourselves. So I want to point out two things. One is, this doesn't apply, say, I want to get a job. That's not the point, right? This is about, I want to take over somebody else's job. That would trigger this, right? Also, this does not apply to free will transaction. So if you want to purchase something from someone, right, and contemplate how you're going to approach this transaction, that's not covetousness at all. Malice is expressing ill will towards other people to harm them. We engage in malice by repeatedly contemplating the best method to express ill will towards someone and the decision to cause harm by our chosen method. So train of thought where you have all three, then negative karma attached to malice will occur. You identify who the person is, right? Make a decision and then how you going to do it. Holding wrong view is another one of those negative karmas. What is holding wrong views? So if you reject what's known as universal truth, right? Cycle of birth and death. Karma, for example, is a universal truth, and so on. We engage in this negative action by repeatedly considering how to deny these universal truths. There are many methods that include, repudiating these truths, incorrect ways of reasoning for opposing views, etc. Right? Follow someone who doesn't believe in this universal truth. So those are all the 10 types of negative karma we covered in the last two sessions. If we commit ourselves to avoiding these 10 types of negative karma, our lives will drastically improve. Not only for ourselves, but for those around us. Sapan mentioned in last session or the session before that when he went to that meditation camp, they made sure that he took vows not to commit this negative karma. And that's what's very important. So in today's meditation, we'll begin with settling down at our hearts, as always. Once we are settled, let's contemplate the effects of negative karma. How negative karma will bring future suffering. We'll also contemplate that our negative karma can ripen at any time, not in just this lifetime, right? But at any time in the future. We just don't know when. Once we contemplate this, we make a determination that will abandon negative karma. That's it. And if we don't want to make that big a commitment, let's make a commitment that will abandon specific types of negative karma, maybe killing, stealing, whatever you think you can avoid for a certain amount of time, for a week, for a day, doesn't matter, right? And then we'll hold to that determination single pointedly as long as we can. If we lose our determination, we'll go back to contemplation and bring the determination back. So that's the plan. If you're ready, let's begin. Get into a cross-legged position. If you are sitting in a chair, make sure your legs are straight. Keep your back straight, spine erect, shoulders leveled. Gently close your eyes. Keep your mouth just a little bit open. That way, any tension you may be carrying in your jaws will dissipate. Put your palms in your lap, right over left, thumbs gently touching each other. Now take a deep breath. As you exhale, let all your stress disappear. Take another deep breath. As you exhale, feel all your muscles relaxed. Bring your attention to the sensation of your breath at your nostril. Feel the cool air as you breathe in. Feel slightly warmer air as you breathe out. Keep your attention at your nostrils for about a minute or so on your own. Now, bring your attention at your heart. Imagine everything that happened before this moment melts into light and disappears. Things that have not yet happened are not real anyway. So it is just this moment. Enjoy the peaceful nature of this moment. Let this peaceful moment bring the next peaceful moment. Remember, there's nothing to do. Nowhere to go. Just enjoy. Now, let's contemplate. There are 10 different types of negative karma: killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, divisive speech, hurtful speech, and so on. Sometimes we commit this negative karma just out of habit. This negative karma will bring us future suffering. We don't know when. It could be this lifetime or not. We don't know what form. So to avoid that future suffering, let's make a determination. I will eliminate all negative karma. Single pointedly focus on that determination as long as you can. If you lose your focus, go back to contemplation. And come to that determination again. Single pointedly focus on that determination. When you are ready, gently open your eyes. Any questions? Go ahead, Sapan.
Yeah, Nirupa, I know you've been doing quite a bit of research on karma, and many times bad things happen to good people. Does your research suggest that it is the part of the karma cycle that the previous birth has something to do with it, and then you had to pay that debt this birth, and then and then you said that it can ripen this particular birth also. Is that what you're finding out?
Exactly right. You're absolutely right. That we often say that why does bad things happen to good people? Because we all have our karma. We all have created negative karma over eons, right? And when it ripens, we just don't know. So you can even do a flip side of that as well, right? That some people who on the face are so terrible, right? But they are enjoying the best part of life, if you will, because they did something good in the previous lives and they are, using up that karma. So this that's all my research. Now I'm going to give you my personal theory here. Okay. My theory is that it's better to use up the negative karma. Hopefully, that's one less negative karma which will ripen in the future.
Got it. Makes sense.
Does that make sense? Good.
Yep.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Regarding the speech, the karma, negative karma you generate by the speech, I think it takes a very intentional effort to really audit your speech in a way that you're not hurting the people. And it takes quite a bit of practice, because ever since we are born, we use this tool to generate attention, and somehow to generate attention you will say something that negative that will create that attention. So I don't know, if you have good tips around that, that would be great.
So one thing, I would say is that think principle, right? Is it true? Is it hurtful? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Right? That's a very good thing to kind of post it on your computer, if you will. Because speech, to me, nowadays we use our speech by written words more than by verbal words nowadays, right? Because we send emails and chat and social media and whatnot. So if you just keep that think thing on your laptop or computer in a sticky note, that could be really, really useful.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Thanks.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, we're going to stop recording.